It has come to my recent attention that Windows 10 does not support the previewing of thumbnails of raw files. Let us look into this and fix this. The reason I am now finding out this is not a thing is because I previously had no use to view my raw image files on computer. If I needed to edit raw files on a computer, it was not in Windows. So here I am. Here's the dilemma. And I've imported some files. Actually, these are the files that I was trying to look at. So this issue plagues a specific range of Windows 10 builds. Most of them are prior to the 21H2 builds. I have two computers in front of me. One has a 21H2 build, the other is on a 20H variant build. I don't know the last number. I wanted to edit on the computer that is plagued with the issue. The one that does not have the issue doesn't have the specs that I need in order to work with those files. So here is what your image files would look like if that build of Windows 10 did not support raw thumbnails, does not show you the previews. You get those images. So I'm going to enlighten you on a program that is the best tool for viewing and working with sets of raw files, no matter if you have them in various amount of folders. As you know, with specifically I use Sony. So with Sony, I don't know if other cameras do it, but when you have a large amount of folders in which the camera saves the raw files, this tool, this program, makes it wildly easier to work with them. It's also faster in loading the raw files, both for previews and full viewing, than Windows native photo image viewer. But I will say, from the time that the problem existed, people realized moving over from Windows 7, it took so long for the issue to be remedied. So I just wanted to point that out. Now, the program I'm talking about is IrfanView. It's a tool that allows you various viewing options, whether you are trying to actually work with the photos or just arrange them or do a little bit of tinkering to them. I'm just going to take you through the steps of getting the program. I'll show you a little bit of what it can do, and you can tinker around with it if you so choose. On the page, you're going to come over to downloads. You're going to pick your respective operating system. If you do not know what operating system you have, you can do this in two ways. You can either open your file explorer, navigate over to this PC, properties, it's already there, but normally you'd start on display, you're going to come down to about. It will tell you if you have a 64-bit or 32-bit operating system. That is what you will choose. The other way is to navigate to your settings with the Windows menu, click System, Familiar, down to About. That's how you get that. So you're going to come over, download IrfanView. I already have it installed, but I'll walk you through how the site has it laid out. So at the top, you'll have the program. In the middle, you'll have the program. This is the section for the plugins of the program. As of recording, which is May 20th, I believe, May 19th, 2022. Those two links lead to the same page. In fact, I'll show you now. It's the same page. Okay, let's move on. Now, if you want the program to just install in your C folder with all your other programs, you click the first link. If you want to do it yourself, it also works as a portable version. You click the second link. You know what? I am actually going to get the portable version. I have the program actually installed. So I'm going to download that, send it to our downloads. This way I can actually do the full thing. We're going to extract it. Now, it's a zip folder. Natively, Windows 10 has the ability to extract from zip folders, but just in case, I'm giving you a two-parter here. A little sauce with the goods. 7-Zip is another program. It can work with extracting a greater amount of compressed files. If you so choose, it'll be in the description below. I too have that installed. In fact, in the downloads folder, I'm going to use 7-Zip to unextract it. You open the archive. This is also a good way to view what's in there in case there's any ghost files. That actually shows you. I'm simply going to extract it to another folder that is named the same as that one. It is just unzipped, and from here we can launch it. So I don't have any photos to look. I just launched the program. This is what you get. Now, for now, we're going to close this. I'm going to leave this folder open so I can quickly get back to that. We're going to navigate back to the home page. If you navigate to the plugins tab at the top of the main page, it will bring you here. It's a little bit different from when we went to the download for the actual program and you had the links to take you to a different page. This will ultimately get you to the same place. However, This page lists all of the plugins for the program. Don't just download anything. The current version of the program is 4.6 with subsidiaries. You have all the plugins listed here that also tell you what version of the program it works with. Actually read the instructions on this page. I'm not going to go over all of it. Since we are specifically talking about raw thumbnails on Windows 10, we're going to go for that plugin alone. The plugin we are going after here is called CamRaw. So we're going to get the 64-bit version because that is the bit version of the operating system that I have. I'm going to extract that to an identically named folder via 7-zip. I'm gonna go in here. Now, this file, the CamRaw DLL, where you're gonna place that is, I'll guide you through it. Of course. I've got you. So you're gonna go to, this is PC. You're gonna go to your C drive. You're gonna go to your programs files folder. Look for IrfanView. In here, you're gonna go to your plugins folder. You're just gonna drop it in here. So let's go back, grab that. I'm going to hold shift, click and drag the DLL file. Click continue. You are now able to view raw file thumbnails. That simple. Now, I kind of jumped the gun, so I'm going to actually put that back in that folder, right? And I'm going to navigate to a folder where I have a lot of raw files. Again, this is the computer where I can actually view the raw file thumbnails. On the other computer that I showed the preview of it, it did not do that. It did not do this. So I'm going to reopen the folder with IrfanView in it, the actual program folder. I'm going to reopen the folder of the program. This is the one I downloaded. And to launch IrfanView, oh, just so you can see that it's a raw file. There you go. All right. I'm going to drag and drop it in there. Can't open it. I'm gonna close it again. Now I grab the folder where the downloaded DLL is located, and I grab the folder where the program is located. We go into the plugins folder, and just like before, I hold shift, I drag and drop, it's there. I back out of the plugins folder, I relaunch the program, I drag and drop one of the raw files. There you go. Now, the cool thing about this is the viewing experience you get with this for your raw files. I simply press T and you get all of your raw files viewable in here. So how is this any different or any better from using Windows native photo viewer? For one thing, you're using Windows photo viewer in coordination and combination with File Explorer, two separate programs. So what you can do here is experience all of that in one. Now, if I double click an image, yes, it brings up IrfanView's default viewer. However, as I scroll, watch the images in the background. As I scroll through this, you see the blue rectangle around the images as I'm scrolling up and down. It keeps track of where you are as you look through the images in full screen. If you've ever had the problem of exiting a photo viewer like so, and the highlighter was still on the image that you originally opened. So if you wanted to do something with the last file you were viewing after having scrolled, it can be a little difficult to locate exactly which one you were looking at, especially if you were taking many variant shots of relatively the same image, same angle. It's hard to differentiate. So that keeps track of that for you. Another thing is that if you like to make a sheet of images to print out, send as a sample, you can actually do that in here simply without using an editing program, a heavier editing program. So I'll select one image, hold shift, and select another image. I have that range of images. Right click, you have three options here affiliated with what I detailed. You can save the selected thumbnails as one image. You can save all of them as the thumbnail images that you see here, or you can save it as an HTML file. Now, I find the first option far more useful. You pick a point to save it, we'll save it on the desktop, and you get a sample sheet, if you will, or whatever you want to do with that. There are a lot of options that I find interesting just reading them, but don't have a use for them practically. One of them being this currently highlighted option, it's save the file name in a text file. Now that creates a nice reference sheet. That's what I would use it for. I would apply that to spreadsheets. I can also have a group keep track of files via an archive that's built that way. Now, exiting that program is one other thing. That being an installed program, or if you chose to go with the individual folder option, you would have to keep selecting what program you want to use to view those files with. Right-click the file, go to Open With, and you choose your option. For those who would like to simply click the file and view it immediately in IrfanView, here's what you do. You right-click on the file, scroll down to properties, and you have your default program that would open if you double click the image. Yours would not be set to IrfanView unless you downloaded the exe version and you actually accepted the option to use IrfanView as a default program to view your image files. Then you simply follow this and you would make IrfanView the default. Click apply, click OK, and you're good to go. Now, when I double click this, it's not going to work. I have it set to use the exe version of the program. As you saw, I downloaded the individual file version and didn't set anything up. So that's what we get. Since I did not show the people who use the exe version how to implement the camera DLL file, we'll do that now. This is the folder where I have the file, and we're going to navigate to this PC, C folder, choose your respective folder, don't forget that. If you chose 32-bit, then you would go into the x86 folder. You locate IrfanView, and you have the plugins folder, and I'm just gonna paste that in there, hit continue. Now, when I double click, there you go. This is a really cool program. For me, it makes my workflow fluid. When I'm transferring files between computers on the network that I have set up in the office, this makes everything a breeze. I can get photos back to my coworkers quickly. I can arrange things faster. It's awesome. That being said, use the program. I do encourage you to support the project. It's still an ongoing project. Recently, they've made it faster in terms of loading for a range of new and old processors. So please do your due diligence. Again, I greatly encourage you. All right, I thank you for watching. I hope this has been of great help to you. If you did not know about the project already, in return, I won't even ask you to subscribe to the channel. I will ask, though, that you like the video. Any necessary links and information that I provided that you need will be in the description box below, along with some other information. Please do read it. I have other content on the channel. There'll also be either video or playlists provided in the end screen. And with all that said, thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Till next time.